using arguably one of the best skills in Path of Exile racing right now. Honestly, this is equivalent to like a world championship in PoE. So this is going to be extremely hype.
5 hits on the
extremely fun. Casting this event is legendary streamer and racer Rise QT, and joining him is Gazzy TV, currently sailing on one of the biggest clouds I've ever seen. How's it going, guys?
Yeah, well, thanks so much for the introduction. I would even go as far as to saying the best players, the best Sunder players, and the best ability in PoE, at least for racing.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, it's even used to for most of the melee abilities when it comes to racing. You know, leveling in the leagues as well. Most people go for Sunder and then opt into other melee abilities or War Chief totems and whatnot as well.
Oh yeah, it's even gotten that bad that even on a Ranger, you still want to get used to Sunder because it's gonna be the best ability to level with. So definitely standing out. But yeah, let's introduce the players. So
I don't even want to play anymore.
Top left, I believe we have Dead and Doom. Who's everybody known by now? I mean, let's be honest. Everybody knows Dead and Doom, right? That's totally fine. Probably to a lot of people, he's the pick for the win. Just because people are most familiar with him. But we've also got Gucci Pradas.
I don't want to play anymore.
Some might say a second of the two.
That's
when
what?
it comes to actually racing.
I got it in the fucking last race as well.
I believe they had a 2v2 race that they did together. They played on like 400 ping. It was really crazy. And then we've got Hellman, who's a little bit of a... And this is really weird to say. It's really weird because Hellman is a little bit of a dark horse here because he hasn't been practicing as far as I know because he's been having some housing issues, and now he's coming in. Formerly known as the best duelist player, but right now we're not exactly sure where he stands. What do you think, Gazzy? How is his how's it gonna look for him?
I mean, I've seen Hellman race for.
What is this?
And I think that with his expertise and experience, I think he can do really well.
I'm like, oh, let me just do a fucking casual run right now.
Especially coming from the experience he has as a
Oh my
duelist.
god, I'm not that good because I'm duelist.
You know, so I think that Helmet can do really well with this specific race. And, you know, Sunder is not a very hard ability to do, so it's going to be more about the general knowledge about how you progress through the content rather than the actual ability usage. And since there won't be any differences between it. So I think Helmet is in a really good position here. And in the bottom right corner, we got Fight Guard joining us in as well. And obviously playing a duelist as the rest of the people. I haven't seen Fight Guard race myself. Have you seen him race a few times before, Race?
Fight Guard uploads videos.
That's good.
I've seen him race on stream, but I know he does a lot of runs, and if I were to go off of results, at least recently, I would say he is either equal to skill to Dead and Doom or
yeah, I found Wanderlust by the way.
Shortly behind.
Just by the way, just let me just do a casual run. Find Wanderlust by the way.
Crazy runs. And
that's the fifth time I've found Wanderlust in a race now.
Did any sort of run on any character, Fight Guard would just be like, hey, but I did this 5 minutes faster than you, try again. So
that's gonna be interesting to see if he's on that level, which I was assuming since it's a Sunder Smackdown showcasing here in the stream right now. So it's gonna be a really nice, interesting race to see, despite it being a rather dull ability. I think we all can agree on that. But since it's all being used by the same players, all the players in the race, I think it's going to be very interesting to see the skills.
This run is definitely worse than a non-Wanderlust run though.
Crafting as you go, and
it's a terrible layout. Still have an Iron Ring either, because I had to ID the boots.
Oh yeah, I think definitely.
No getting onslaught ever.
To gear management, really, how you put on those. Well, everybody's duelist, so I guess everybody's just wearing a chest piece.
Why do you have to be on this run? I'm so washed up.
What fight, and then Leap Slam usage. Leap Slam is huge. I think the reason why Dead and Doom stands out so much is definitely his Leap Slam play. When it comes to Sunder, you just kind of smack the ground and everything dies. But Leap Slam really makes a massive difference. And Hellman is known as the Leap Slam God, the original. So we'll see. We'll see if this stands through. I'm personally not gonna lie. I'm hoping Hellman's gonna win, but he is a little bit of an underdog. I think. just everybody's been practicing so much, you know. Gucci's been practicing. You know, I even saw him being frustrated because he's been introduced as the shadow player many times, and Gucci's just like, why are you guys saying I'm a shadow player? All I do is play duelist, and all I ever see him doing, except the spectral throw right now, is practice ball kills with Sunder. So
Yeah.
he's been definitely trying to step it up. So I would say formerly a caster player, but right now fully transitioned into the duelist lifestyle. And something also I guess maybe that could be important to point out is that I think Dead and Doom is more comfortable with Marauder than Duelist. So despite it being Sunder, either way, those attack speed changes, those weapon specific changes, make a pretty big difference, because with a Duelist you're not necessarily stuck with one weapon. You can use an ace, or you can use an axe. Most people think there's a big damage difference. There's really not. Attack speed looks pretty similar too. It's just that maces have a little bit less damage, but a smaller damage variance, while with axes they have a higher combat.
Yeah, exactly. What I think is going to be really interesting to see, especially coming from someone that is more in line with playing the Marauder and more comfortable with that compared to the Duelist, is the mana usage as well. Because Leap Slime is, well, draining your mana really effectively. And I remember from the race I was in as well, I chose to run with a lower level mana flask to not have it, you know, go fully, so I could Leap Slam whilst it was still regenerating. So we'll see if we'll see some of that action in this race as well.
Definitely so, yeah. Gucci's like actually getting used to the speed already. I don't know.
Absolutely.
Very soon. But this is probably how the clear speed is going to look like very soon. Something that we might have not mentioned to anybody is that this is a pretty unique race also, because it's a Malachai kill, which I don't believe we've had yet.
I'm just gonna die, actually.
It's going to be a nice change of pace compared to the original Isara.
I can't kill it, because, you know, I always get a blue pack there, but I can never kill it, because I'll just die.
I mean...
Pretty funny.
I like the lab. The lab doesn't like me, though. In my race that I participated in, the lab totally kicked my ass, so...
This one's going awful right now.
We'll see.
It's gonna be nice with Malachai, since the Malachai fight itself. I mean, we've seen, some of us has played the beta before it got severely nerfed, which was somewhat needed. It might have been a little bit overkill nerfed in my opinion, but honestly, like, Malachai fight itself is a pretty cool fight, and it has a few elements in there. It's gonna be very interesting to see.
I haven't found a weapon yet either.
Oh yeah, definitely so. All I can look at right now is Hellman's classic smile coming through. Really cheers me up every time. This man knows what he's doing. Also, you can see that Dead and Doom coming out with a really professional -2 timer. Oh, apparently Hellman, we got information that Hellman is using Neversink's filter.
There we go. And it's links to
that doesn't seem optimal.
Last time I saw Hellman, he had like his bed in the background. Did he move his computer?
I think he moved to a different house, actually.
Of course he moved to a different house, wouldn't he?
See if that house brings him some streamer RNG in this race.
His shit got fucked up, dude.
Yeah, I think so. Also looking, I think he's got a new microphone too. Maybe during the interview we're actually gonna be able to tell what he's saying. You know?
Yeah.
But, I think, oh man, this should be so close, but at the same time, I don't want it to be close. I want Hellman to show that he is still the king of duelists. All these pretenders coming in, practicing duelist, you know, everybody's saying, ooh, Dead and Doom this, Dead and Doom that, you know, oh, Fight Guard did a good run, Gucci's been practicing a lot, but Hellman is where it's at. He really has to show here that he doesn't care, and that's what he's always done. Hellman was known for that. Whenever people were like, boo-hoo, people are cheating in Path of Exile Racing, Hellman was like, I don't care if people are map packing, I'm still gonna win. And that's what he did. Exactly.
I'm solo level.
Another point to point out here, I just saw Hellman made a severe, huge change right now. He went from the Neversink's filter and using Morse loot filter right now. See if that
oh my god. I've never not been 8.
I see Morris coming in the chat saying, Mao, if this is my old filter, he's so fucked. There is a possibility that Hellman might be using a two-handed weapon filter or so. Yeah, we'll see.
Yeah, and they're the races.
They're off. Hellman's not moving. He doesn't. He's giving them a little bit of a handicap. He's like, I don't really care that much. There we go.
He's already stated off the start there.
I'm listening to the Summer Showdown race.
Just to show that he can win despite this.
Oh yeah. Oh, looky here, really.
Nice double click mouse.
We've got Dead and Doom first to the chest.
But that
takes a detour into a dead end just for lulz.
What is this guy
Oh
doing?
my god, it's actually gonna kill
He's
me.
really not taking anybody else that seriously?
Clearly.
Oh my god.
Oh hell, man.
And a heavy belt too? What the fuck is going on?
Sorry, Hillock, whilst the other guys have already killed him. Gucci's the first one to go in, I think. Yes, he's going into Line Ice Watch.
Let's see how that's gonna work out. Yeah, the layouts can be very different. I believe Fighter just picked up a rare weapon. That is crazy. We'll see how this goes for them in terms of muling. Hellman has boots.
Nice double click again, mouse. Thanks.
They're white. Nothing too suspicious there. Gucci with the iron ring. Very nice. Oh, he's struggling a little bit. He has to sell his gloves. Yeah, he didn't have enough for the Onslaught gem, but he's got 2 iron rings. That's massive. That's huge.
Absolutely. And we got Fightcar got one of them at least. Let's see how it works out.
Didn't Doom also with 1 iron ring. Hellman in town now. None of the players really checking for movement speed boost from what I've seen. Don't see any 3 links.
Hellman picked up a pair of gloves so he can change his weapon immediately once he got the levels, because he got a green and red color on that one in his inventory, so he's ready for that as well. And he did get an iron ring.
Give me a go weapon place that isn't level 1.
Yeah, so far looking pretty good, to be honest. Nothing really standing out outside of Gucci's 2nd iron ring, but everybody's got 1 iron ring, so it should be pretty even here. And we have
Wrong way, of course.
the results of the poll that you guys worked on. It's Dead and Doom with 130.
The Brutus time was actually pretty bad, by the way.
57% thinks that Dead and Doom will
You
win.
can do that
Second
time
place,
without any
Malachai,
MS if you get good layouts.
27%, and then not much belief in the other players. 8.1 for Gucci. Come on, guys. And Fightgar with 7.2%. I can understand Fightgar. Not that many people. Oh, somebody's dying. It's Fightgar. Uh-oh, Fightgar. Hello.
Oh my god, please.
Dying this early on. The penalty is
No
2
attack
minutes,
speed,
I
but
believe.
shit ton of damage.
So
You can't really die, at least not this early in the race. You should never even be in that risky situation.
I mean, you know, some players might say that it's not efficient to run
To my left of
Flask,
okay.
for duelists because you should be leap slamming. And
Yeah, Fighter could be really free draft, so could I though.
I think so as well. I mean, it does make yourself a lot faster in certain situations.
Yo, I'm actually fucked. I have 0 wisdoms.
Mechanic. I personally think that for the races that goes above Act 3 should be picking up a quick.
Wait, what is this?
Helmet's chilling. I don't think he's played much.
I legit have no wisdoms. Oh god.
Will be falling a little bit.
I need to buy a mana pop. I
He has
need
not played
3
that
wisdoms.
much. Mud flats and
What?
coast
Oh
and
my
even
god.
submerged.
Okay, well, I'm
Quite a
fucked.
bit of new layouts.
I'm ready to
So
sell the whetstone, dude.
they get a
I'm
pretty
legit gonna have to sell it. I need a mana potion.
That cost them quite a bit of time, while the other players are all 3 already.
Well, I guess I
established,
don't actually
with
need
Gucci
it.
Pradas
Yeah.
entering there first.
Wait, okay, now.
See there, Gucci just
What?
stairs. He's almost into ledge already.
Oh
whilst
wow.
Fightgar is still trying to.
It's all at it
stairs.
in.
Stairs.
Oh.
Yeah, that's a really fast.
Is
leg.
that actually all of it?
That's gonna be wow, like 4.5. Usually when you're doing this,
Act 1, by the way.
he's got an L run in the zone. Maybe I spoke too soon. That master will definitely mess up his instance quite a bit, but usually if you've got, you should be
Yeah, Act 1, by
with
the
an
way.
under 5 ledge, which is looking for way more than the usual under 5 ledge. But the other players are quickly catching up while Gucci's struggling a little bit with his Elrond. And actually, Denendin will be the first one to enter ledge. All 3 players on an amazing pace. With Hellman falling behind a little bit, but he's just now entering submerged. And
Do I even
as soon
wanna
as he's
lead
going to be
slam?
more familiar with the layouts, I'm sure he's going to pull through.
I think so as well. You can see that Dead and Doom got himself a red-green linked pair of gloves as well, so he can also change his weapons whenever he wants to. The gloves that Hellman picked up in the start, he
What a
actually
garbage
got them
time.
blue. I think he transmutated or he found a pair of new ones with red and green link. Got some life and life gain on kills. So that's pretty good at this point of the game.
Hellman drops a transmute. That's gonna be make a pretty big difference. With Marauder, you get all the gems automatically. However, with Duelist, you have to buy the gems. You don't get Sunder. You have to buy it from.
Oh my god! It's actually gonna be garbage. I've done better in Merveil, better times without any of this.
Which is massive.
I don't want to do this run right now.
But it's in his
I
weapon.
legit
We'll
don't.
see how long he will choose to use that for. If it's worth it, even at level 6.
I don't even know.
Level 5, so.
What's going on?
Yeah.
The layouts.
That onslaught is so strong early on.
Also, I don't have mana.
Yeah, sitting on first scale gloves too, and a battered helmet. Honestly, Doom's gear is looking amazing. The only
Heuristic Sash now as well.
Yeah, the only other player that's following that up, I would say, is Gucci with that second Iron Ring, but Doom's gear, right now, he could go to Brutus right now with those small flasks, and he would kill them without a problem.
Right.
Hitting a massive blue pack, too. Whew. I mean, come on.
Like, I should have killed Merveil already.
Favoring him quite a bit, with Hellman also hitting a massive blue pack. Very nice.
Right, got good layouts, and Merveil would have been dead.
Who ends out getting out of ledge the fastest as well, because the experience penalty is going to be quite severe if you stay too long in the ledge compared to progressing further. So it's all about, you know, killing the right amount of packs, and these guys are so experienced in terms of racing, so I don't think we should see any sort of problem with that. But then again, I see Doom hitting a lot of white packs quite ineffectively a few times here and there. But he is in the lead, it seems.
Well, that's the thing. Usually, you know, you play your best when you're the underdog, when you're not getting any RNG. You've got more time to think. You're going a little bit slower. You really think about your every move. But when you're getting these sort of items that he's getting, you don't have nearly as much time to think. And you can see that how much it's giving him, really. Because ledge usually doesn't differentiate much in the length of it. But he's already inclined.
It's actually a bad time. I've done better times, so I won't miss at all.
Far behind
Any miss at all,
he's
I mean.
pretty sped up. On top of it, he had 3 massive blue packs, hitting another one just now. RNG is definitely crazy for him right now. But we'll see if
It was bad, man.
These sort of runs make a, you know.
Actually a bad time.
But these are all.
And I'm out of mana.
This is where the chokes come in.
Exactly.
And he didn't drop a single rare item.
Players going through attack speed. I'm actually kind of surprised. We'll see if.
Yeah, I have Wanderlust. The fucking healer dropped Wanderlust again.
Because originally, you wouldn't fully go through the attack speed. Yeah, Hellman going with the old two-handed way of leveling, opting to go pick up a little bit more evasion, allowing him to get hit.
Oh my god, I still got my mana floss. Fuck!
Interesting.
I actually just want to reset.
Buddy.
This run is bad. Like, bad.
Yeah.
Even with the Wanderlust, it's bad.
Yeah,
I don't have anything.
those
Except
little
Wanderlust.
wheel things,
Fuck.
yeah, they bite.
But I can't. Oh my god, thank you. I can't reset because I have Wanderlust. And I'm flatline.
We've got Dead and
Nice.
Doom in prison. 8-minute prison. Holy,
That's really good.
that's insane. That
Is
is.
he aware that it's a Malachai race and not a 12-minute Brutus kill?
Looking at his gear, yeah, I think he's well aware. He has his second Iron Ring. He picked up his added fire, 4 Wisdom Scroll, and a Blacksmith Stone. This is
see
looking
his,
like an
chest
amazing
piece?
run. Oh, I didn't quite see just yet.
The
Let's
Dead
go.
and Doom is sitting on a red.
So at this point-
Reeling chest piece. As soon as he gets that
At this point, the Wanderlust is practically useless.
and then
think.
completely ignore what he has on his weapons and just use that for until he gets a 4-link pretty much. It's looking really good.
Crazy. But honestly, he spent quite a bit of time in town.
Whatever.
He opted to go for that weapon pickup.
Can still get lucky in other parts.
I think.
It's definitely not a bad time.
I'm not exactly sure what he did.
Just with Wanderlust, it's a bad time.
I think he thought that it was a dead end, and then he got.
Possibly. I see Fikar just entered into the person as well and he's in town doing
And my
some
river
races
race is
and-
empty right now.
And you can see that.
It's always the
Fighter
worst
really
when your
showing
river
his
race is
prowess
empty.
With the cleave. Because early on he had to struggle a little bit with those newer layouts, but now that
Does
he's
this get
in the game
fucked
again,
on
he's
XP?
caught up, and he's on the same pace as Fightgar and Gucci, really.
You know.
Oh, Doom killing an essence, getting a hatred essence right now. We'll see if he's gonna opt to go for a weapon maybe, or if it's gonna be a piece of gear. It is a Malachai.
Not even
race,
13.
Most of these players will be quite confident.
Hit 12 before liveries, didn't hit 13 in it. That's a sign that he got a really bad one.
Pretty
Yeah,
okay.
I'm fucked on
You
XP
don't
right
really
now.
need to gather as much gear as you do for a
Not even 13 entering all fields, that's so bad.
Risky strat. Gucci went the wrong way, had to run all the way back. Didn't do him already in upper, but
Oh,
really
nice.
with an 8-minute prison.
I need
having a
essences
10-minute
though.
Upper, yeah, he spent quite a bit of time in town. We'll see if all of this pays off. Now using the 3-link, 2 3-links so far. Still using the Rested Sword, I believe, though. As for weapons, Hellman actually has the best weapons because... Oh no, excuse me, Gucci has a... a Jade Hatchet and a Copper Sword. He's got the best weapons right now. Early on players will use
I'm
those
going
swords.
Malachai.
Obviously you can't play swords with
Oh, I won't
spear.
get to Malachai though,
It
on
really
this
doesn't
run.
make much of a
It's not gonna
difference.
happen.
It's kind of like axes and maces.
Like, look, I'm not getting... Oh, I'm not one-shotting.
Their Thunder setup. Oh,
Interesting.
and didn't do entering Wardens. Holy crap. I just can't
I never
stop
got a
talking
second
about it
iron
because
either.
He's entering Wardens, he's got fully maxed out gear. You literally cannot have better gear than he does right now, outside of like 2 Quicksilver Flask drops. He's sitting on a Diamond Shrine. Obviously this isn't going to play a role in the fight itself, but my goodness.
The only thing he's lacking is like a mana regen amulet, but that's not really needed at this point either. So I think he's going to be killing Brutus really fast now.
Oh yeah, this is gonna be a really fast.
That's that one, not one-shotting
Doesn't even go anywhere in the back.
Hey, what the fuck?
Oh, that is beautiful. Look at that.
That is how fast you usually kill Brutus with Molten Strike, but these players can only use Cleave, and that was ridiculous, honestly.
Yeah, and he got a new
God.
hatchet as well.
Have to
red,
do
red,
that.
green.
Could drop
Not
a
that he
blue
needs the
weapon.
links anymore. We have Gucci going in towards Brutus
Never
as well,
mind.
coming in on second place there for now.
That dropped bigger weapon at least.
Boots. My god, Doom has movement speed boots, and he has either yellow or blue boarding axe. Oh my goodness. How can they compete against this RNG? Well, Gucci is in second place. See, he's got two axes. Also, really good gear outside of those gloves. He's only missing the fish scales, but he doesn't have movement speed boots. We'll see how his drops look like. But this Brutus kill should be.
I need an Alk or something. Or an Essence.
Or well, no, actually, it should be.
So I can craft a cleaver.
Yeah, it should be.
Otherwise I'm completely fucked.
He got a little bit better weapons as well, but not by much.
I don't even have a transmit right
That's
now,
what's
so
really good. That
okay.
kills Brutus. And we have a fight car coming in, and our boy Hellman. It's not really doing what we're expecting him to do for now.
I mean, you can't really get lost. In
Wow,
prison, I
usually
always
be half
say
a level
this.
higher.
Whenever players are like,
bad.
oh my gosh, I'm getting lost in prison a lot. You're not really getting lost all that much because you're still getting a lot of EXP, so
Okay,
as long
look at
as
nice.
you're not backtracking, which he will.
Very nice.
You're doing okay. He can see the exit. He did go for the
Oh,
right
right.
strategy, but
Oh, there was a
he
ghost
did
up there,
a
wow.
little bit here, and yeah, the Elrond messing him over. It's Figar heading into Brutus. Let's see how fast this goes. He does have better gear than anybody, because he's also got an Amber Amulet. Oh, has
Yeah.
a big Gucci.
It looked good, fight car's
Almost
fight
have to
versus,
ult.
versus Brutus there, but he didn't tank him straight off, so he could have cut off a few seconds there, but he did really well.
Yeah, but he's got those yellow gloves. We'll see if he gets attack speed. I would say that would be one of the determining factors in this race, whether or not players can get... Oh my god, he's gonna sell the gloves! No, Fight Guard, don't do it! He sold the gloves.
He sold it.
Sold the gloves, and he ID'd the blue glove. Fight Guard,
Yeah.
please. Don't do this.
But this is what you were talking about before. This point is where the
Oh,
choke
I
starts
could have killed
happening, where
Weaver
you make
already
small
actually at
mistakes
level
and
16. Oh wow.
then realize it after you've sold it.
Yeah, he even thought about it for a second, but yeah, it didn't. His gloves are still decent.
How is that a dead end? What?
Ain't no attack speed on those.
Yeah, whatever.
Whereas maybe he knew
It's
all
funny.
along that those
It's actually just funny.
attack speed.
It's probably because of Stora. Oh my.
Wow, I think he's getting like good hits in, cause it's the move. No, his gear is looking good. Those copper swords are just slightly worse. Ooh, drops a blacksmith, leather scale boots, very good drops for Helm, and we'll see what he can
Well,
get.
I'm fucked. I can't craft a cleaver. Because I don't have anything crafted with.
Has started. Has this transmute for the sun there?
The one thing to note as well is that Hellman was actually the only one using
Fusing for
the Brutus fight as well. Everyone else used their cleave. I think that Dominus looked really well because the speed, even though he had worse weapons, he did much better DPS than the other ones versus Brutus.
Yeah, that might also mean that he's disqualified, but let's not worry about it. Yeah, Hellman doesn't need boots. Hellman, oh, we got a rip! Gucci Pradas has just died to a sub-fizz...
Another alteration.
pack, I think? Damn. Well, he's running back. He wants vengeance. Doesn't remake the instance. Actually, a lot of players seeing a lot of masters, especially Hellman and... Ooh, and a blue.
Okay, yeah, I think the run's over because I can't craft my cleaver.
Pushed it a little bit
My bad. Oh.
Doesn't have as good of a chest piece
Come
as
on.
the other players.
You can save it.
Yeah, that could have defended him. It's a triple red. But he's getting some blue packs back, so those 2 minutes, hopefully there would
Did I say the run was dead? Did I say that?
He must be
I don't remember actually if I said that.
Yeah, I think so as well. He's kind of quite not that far off behind from Dead and Doom as well. But he did lose those 2 minutes for that rip, so we'll see what happens there.
I think I said something along those lines, right?
A transmute.
I don't remember.
Yet, so
Whatever.
we'll see. He's gonna have to get enough drops from Merveil and take his time a little bit more looting on her, while Dead and Doom has already went to town, and yeah, he's just going to push forward. No need to go back to town. He's also going to be hitting level 10. Well, actually, Gucci should be hitting level 10 too.
But that transmutation ore drop is so important.
I don't remember exactly if I said something about the run. Dead? Oh.
So without that, you'll sit in a situation where everyone else is going to skyrocket above you in terms of flare speed, whilst you're trying to farm for transportation orb and then port back if you have a portal as well to get back into the fight. And we now see Dead and Doom going into the first one to enter Merveil.
16 minutes and 40 seconds. That is really ridiculous pace, honestly. And that's also keeping in mind that they are not allowed to use Molten Strike. He has to be cleaving, but that damage is looking sick. Even gets the onslaught proc from the swords. Oh my god.
That's some good cheat. Yo. I'm like, let me just do a casual run to like de-rest for tomorrow or something. Oh, Wanderlust, whoops.
It's just the amount of damage he's dishing out here with that saber.
Finishes off with a leap slam for good measure.
Drops boots, still picks up the boots, go for all.
15 movement speed.
Oh my god. I don't even know what to say at this point.
Holy shit. They're about 15% movement speed as soon as he's able to.
Where the fuck is out? There he is.
See, Gucci's almost coming into Merveil right now. And just at the same time, Hellman entered the caverns.
Hellman a little bit behind. Does log out. Hopefully he has enough items. I think I saw it. 18 transmute shards. Gucci hitting Merveil.
I haven't found a thingy yet though, Jancer.
Oh
no, I found a fitting. Oh, never mind.
GG.
GG.
Better offhand weapon, so this should be pretty similar to what it was looking like.
I forgot.
Doom. This is going to be a 90-minute Merveil. I would say that's pretty standard.
You know,
most of the time, with Dead and Doom's time being really ridiculous.
No, I don't nothing, but it's like.
Yeah, honestly, I would be with those 15.
I need to start practicing again, you know.
In the head a little bit that I didn't get that Quicksilver.
yeah, exactly.
I just want to get good at Duelist finally.
More than leap slamming in this one, but just now he hits level 12 before he enters down, getting that sun there. With Gucci taking the Merveil, not really getting any items out of it though.
I did get a unique, useless bow. I saw Hellman actually did get his transportation orb.
I don't think I had a thing.
So he did pick up his Sunder, so he's good on that one. Did we see Fightcar pick up his Sunder?
I'm not exactly sure. I know Gucci, Oh, Gucci? Wait, Gucci has 3 transmutes. Okay, I don't know why he was messing around with his inventory so much.
Sorry, dude, don't have time.
2 transmutes, that was a lot.
Under one? Oh my god. Please, okay.
I think he even picked up a main, just in case he hits that 4 link.
Yeah.
Pay off for him. Maybe that's what he was going for.
Okay.
But Fightcar fighting Merveil,
looking pretty slow actually.
Looking pretty slow. I'm not exactly sure why, to be honest. His the air is looking pretty good.
Where the fuck am I going?
Maybe just getting low rolls. Oh, he actually is not on a 3-link. He is.
Where am I going?
Right
Oh my god, what am I doing?
Yeah,
he
and
does
he's
have a
using
2-link with
onslaught.
added fire. Yeah,
that as well.
Yeah, that's gonna
What?
take some time. He's
Okay, now I'm
he's
lost.
class. Might be.
I guess it's...
He's actually linked cleave with onslaught alone, nothing else. It's like he's basically running.
It is here, right? Yeah.
Sockets there.
Yeah. Oh, that was...
some
I think it's right here already though.
Kind of ended up working out, but then Doom has, with his crazy RNG, has already hit the western waypoint and now is running back while none of the other players are in Act 2 yet.
This is stand actually.
Merveil. He does have a 3-link red boarding axe, so that's probably gonna play a pretty big role in the near future. Really, this is the big breaking point because
Hello?
boarding
Oh,
axes are a incredibly good weapon. Your next weapon is a cleaver at level 16, but those things aren't that great. They're pretty slow, and if you're doing enough damage with Sunder anyway, why would you care about, you know, higher DPS? As long as you're one-shotting, you're in it. So the next really big weapon that's kind of speedy is at level 21. So this weapon makes a pretty big difference. Everybody except Vigar, I believe, has a blacksmith stone.
I don't think so. Yeah, we see one in Hellman right there in his
Gotta do
inventory.
more downstream.
Hellman again using double strike for the Merveil kill there.
That's a really empty Northern.
He does have Sunder, so we'll see whenever it's gonna hit level 12 so we can use it.
Only got half a level in there.
Just now hits level.
Even though I got a shrine, well.
Under level. Didn't do hitting chamber since Gucci making his way through the forest,
That's
going
a
to
bit
be hitting
lucky.
level 13. Yeah, before Western most likely. So that's looking really great for him. And oh, Fighter's EXP is actually looking great. He might be a little bit behind in progression, sure, but just now hitting the waypoint, almost level 13. He does not have a boarding axe though, so definitely RNG so far has not been in favor of Fightgar.
Oh my god.
Axe, no, he had some problems with those transmutes.
Yeah.
I don't know. He is getting a lot of EXP.
I'm getting that.
Blue packs were looking good on the way, as they are for Dead and Doom right now. This is fighting a huge blue pack.
Indeed, yeah, you seem to be getting everything right now. Not just drops and everything, he's just getting blue pack after blue pack as well.
Yeah. Things are looking really good for Dead and Doom. We'll see. I mean, again, these under pressure situations can be very tilting. But so far, the only death that we've had was from Gucci.
You heard that?
Gucci is doing pretty well though. He is catching up. He's got really fast leaps on there with the acceleration shrine as well. But,
Oh my god.
Doom is in the lead right now.
Okay, there it is.
And I think Hellman just got out of his southern forest farming and has been progressing out to the east.
Back to layout skill, indeed.
Town in Act 2. We'll see how this goes, because as soon as everyone starts using Sunder, it'll be coming to that point where everything's fair game and it's all about the internal skills of racing rather than the abilities.
Right, especially since there's not
that was
really
alright.
much differences.
Look at it, level 20. Wow.
Oh, Hellman just got himself really nice stuffs right there. Got some good weapons there.
Oh yeah, some cleaver action, yeah. Killing a big boy rare. Dead and Doom instantly killing Fidelitas. Holy crap, that was fast.
I just realized that, is this Morse loot filter? Because Hellman's dropped there. I saw 3 so-called unique colored drops, but they were not unique.
Good Val Panda.
Oh yeah, that would have been a little bit much. He does pick up a two-hander.
Got 2 nice.
Yeah, drops it immediately. Very good.
Yeah.
I don't know, Dead and Doom's weapon not looking that hot. It's just the boarding.
So it's just slow,
Why
right?
else would he putting
I'm just gonna
much
allow that.
effort into it? I think, well, actually, most of these players are probably, like, what sort of level are they looking for right now to kill Malachai? I would say maybe even 29? They might be going for just a...
I got a friendly charge. What
really
is
fast
this?
Malachai kill.
I actually got a friendly
Really
charge.
fast.
Wow.
I'm hitting level 29, equipping their decorative axe with all those blacksmith stones that they've gathered up, and yeah.
Please,
They're
okay,
fighting
thank you.
an exile, but it's a ranged exile.
No! Oh my god. If that's good, I'm actually just...
I think that if any ability can handle Malachai in really early levels,
It's not good.
Sunders, I think
Total
this is
attacks.
some
Ah,
really
fuck.
early, attempts on Malachai at least.
Yeah, Yeah, I think they're really going
I
to
don't
push
know.
it.
It's
I mean,
it's so
pretty
close to being
difficult
good.
if you're not doing lab, if you're not running a library, if you're not doing
I'm gonna
trials,
use it
then
obviously.
really being that level 30 so that when you're hitting mines so that you can keep up your XP all the way to Malachai can be very difficult. The density there is not looking that great, so I'm thinking that they're probably going to be getting a lot of EXP in Act 3. Hitting probably like 20, maybe some players are even gonna hit 27, and then hitting 29 in mines and just
What?
for it.
Yeah, I think that sounds pretty something to be expected.
Depending on their weapons, I mean.
Isn't that like really good?
Exactly.
Like Fight Guy right now, he's, you know, he picked up he's getting a little bit desperate here. He did pick up a stone hammer, very slow
That's
level
pretty good,
15
yeah.
base. It is a mace.
Too bad I have the
If it's a
colors
good
in
one,
my
I mean,
thingy.
Maybe it's going to pay off with that single target, but he only has... He has 2 links. He has Ancestral Protector on a 2-link, his Sunder is on a 2-link. You know, Gucci and Dead and Doom have a 3-link Protector and have a 3-link Sunder. Not exactly sure about Hellman. Hellman with the 3-link Sunder and completely unlinked Protector. Oof. Really, Dead and Doom and Gucci.
Do I give up my
their
3-link though?
RNG prowess here with Dead and Doom, especially, I think.
Absolutely.
Opting to go for Creighton. I really wonder what their choice is going to be for the bandits, if they're going to be helping Oak or if they're going to be killing everybody. The Oak kill takes a while, but 2 skill points, pretty useful. Ooh,
Yeah.
Fightcar saw something. That Stonehammer has something, but we have to wait until... Well, he can't equip it. Why can't he equip it? He has another one. He is level 15.
I don't see
Oh no,
it.
there we go. He did equip it. Okay, that's
Yeah,
another
the
one.
stone hammer, yeah.
Yeah, but it doesn't have really much on it, sadly.
No.
Oh, okay. Dead and Doom has
Wait.
a
No, that has added fire on it.
recipe cleaver.
Doesn't
that
it?
Augmented 10 fire on
Please,
53
yes.
physical.
No, wait, no.
So yeah, if
I need 2
if the
reds.
players
Ah,
can
whatever.
find a fast boarding axe with just enough damage.
Do I give up main for that?
Doing quite a bit in terms of.
I don't know what to do.
I think so. Hellman got a really good axe though, with his boarding axe sitting on 54 fists and increased crits, some cold press on it.
Wow.
I
That's a
just
really
don't know
good
what
axe
to
for
do.
there. I think that's gonna carry him. Quite
I'm gonna need another faster attack still.
Oh yeah, I definitely think so. But
I can get cooling on it.
think something new
Okay.
you're happy about. Currently looking for
No, I don't have attacks with gloves. Feels bad, man.
killing him.
It's killing him, yeah. Going for that skill point, yeah, it's a very interesting decision. It is very time consuming to kill Oak depending on RNG.
That's
you
probably
you get
actually
that
worse.
Warlord's mark on you, you get stunned a lot. He uses Immortal Call usually, but in this way
Nice.
he's only used it once.
Oh,
Wow.
flip.
That was
Yeah, the
really
RNG
good Oak
is just,
RNG.
Yeah. But generally, this guy has so much RNG. I think he stole it from the other guys. But I think that if you have really good gear, those 2 skill points is worth quite a lot. So if you feel that the gear is like on a really good level, going for that
Probably
kill can
equip right
absolutely
up.
be worth it. Instead of actually saving, maybe trading for movement speed or attack speed. And in this case, you could save in Oak for the time kill as well. I think that with good gear, it's better to do the kills, because that didn't take him more than, what, 10, 12 seconds or something like that?
Yeah, that was good. I would say that was worth it. With the level 16 and that cleaver, again, you're sacrificing your AoE clear for that single
that
target
dropped
damage,
something.
and I think in this fight specifically,
Oh
that
fuck.
really paid
Oh
off.
fuck.
He
Rip.
didn't really put up
Misread
much
it.
of a fight. He's tired of using Immortal Call. Self-cast Immortal Call in 2017, who does that? Come on.
Exactly. We see Dead and Doom just getting more and more lucky, just equip a pair of new gloves with his
Oh, that ignite.
cold and lightning flat damages to his attacks. It's just looking better and better. He did save a Lyra, did you see that?
Oh my
Dead and Doom saved a Lyra.
I can understand that. I mean, like we were talking.
Call is
about
also Act 2, right? Call is
before,
right? I think
can
it
be
is.
a little bit annoying.
I hope it is.
This can be a little bit annoying. You know, maybe he's not picking up much. At level 29, he should have the entirety of the ranger side of the skill tree. So I can understand it. We'll see if the other players also go for the same choice.
Yeah, it's going to be rather interesting, because we talked a lot about the mana, and it is a really annoying issue when you're leap slamming and doing Sunder. So saving a Lyra could be a really strong choice there.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I'm in my totem right now anyway.
Enter Ruins, the mandatory immediate blue pack for him, but also a Katarina. So Masters can be really tricky in this zone. We'll see how that works out for him. What is Gucci doing? Oh, okay, he's going through the road. For a second I thought he already saw the exit and just was running around, but no. It's looking pretty good. Entering wetlands just now. We'll see what he chooses to do with Oak.
Yeah, that's rather interesting because Gucci's actually equipped a 1,000 ribbons simple robe. So it's gonna be really interesting if he's gonna stick with that, because that's really good for in terms of damage as well.
That's pretty nice. Oh, okay, the Herald doesn't link anymore, but he
I don't know where it is.
Kill Oak as well, getting quite a bit less RNG. Oak with that permanent immortal call. Okay, that was okay. I think that was like 2 immortal calls.
Should be here, yeah.
Not too bad. Fight guard killing Crichton. He's going to be having to make the decision soon.
At least I have fire res.
Sadly, quite a bit behind still.
For now.
Just now going through Weavers. For now. We'll see. He is, again, the Leap Slam specialist, and Act 3 and Act 4 will be when the Leap Slam will really make a big difference.
Something that is really interesting in the current state of the race is that if you're looking at every guy's gear right now, these 4 participants, you can see that both Hellman, Fighter, and Gucci has 0 increased movement speed, whilst the Dead and Doom has been sitting on a 10% movement speed and then replaced them with a 15%.
Yeah, I missed this a lot on the list. That's why the Wanderlust is carrying me so hard right now.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Like,
right?
some people might say, "Oh, you're
So
leap
works.
slamming most of the time." Yeah, that MS makes a difference.
Yeah, dude. Right now it's all leaf shit.
RNG like Fight Guard.
MS is insane on the list, dude.
RNG like Fight Guard right now. You gotta go to town a lot more often than the other players. You can see that he's really fiddling with his inventory, trying to get those ID scores.
Yo, the Wanderlust actually just made up for the shitty Act 1 layouts. It just made the shitty Act 1 layouts good Act 1 layouts.
And then you get at least the Blood Rage, maybe a second.
Basically what the Wanderlust did.
Something that makes it really comfortable in Act 3 with
So,
those
I mean,
fast Sunders.
it's been nice, but
Something a lot of people forget about Sunder actually, that it does have an attack speed penalty. So having that attack speed on it makes it pretty.
I need a helmet actually.
If you've got a slow weapon.
Something with blue green.
Oh, absolutely.
Not fucking red green.
Even
I
if you
mean.
have some extra attack speed from the duelist, it will be noticeable.
No, Gucci drops a Quicksilver and runs away from it. No, Gucci.
Of course he doesn't pick up the Quicksilver. What the fuck?
I don't get it.
Why would he pick up a
I
Quicksilver?
don't get it really. The Quicksilver, you don't need those 2 potions. Well, he is using level 12 potions. I can kind of understand that. I'm not a huge fan myself of using level 12 potions, especially if you've held the Lyra. Like, those level 6 potions can keep you leap slamming all the way through. Maybe I'm just slow.
Yeah, exactly. Like we talked about before, this whole idea of using a lower level mana flask, just roll on the regeneration instead of capping it and have to be forced to use another charge on it. I don't know, I think that a lot of people are underestimating the power of movement speed, and sure, Dead and Doom has been getting a lot of good RNG, if you can put it that way. And he's in the Ranger side of the tree as well, just pushing out more and more speed out of this build. But he is in the lead with 2 levels above the other 3, which are all level 16 right now. And I think that movement speed is doing so much for him, so it's not to be
I disagree with Gassy completely.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, those slight positioning changes that you have to do with Sunder to just hit enough mobs. Yeah, that MS is going to help him out. He is getting a lot. He's going to be very lost in Nation Pyramid. Wow. Took a very risky route, not going to the left side first. So we'll see how punishing this is going to be for him. Might even be a middle layout, which means that he's going to go for a full circle here. Wow, yeah.
And I'm gonna YOLO it.
Very punishing. Definitely gives an opportunity to a lot of the other players for catching up.
Then again, he's level 19 right now, and this is the level 20-ish, 21, 22 area. So he's getting a pretty good experience for it, so it's not all too horrible, because at some point he will need to get some experience prior to the Malachai fight.
Yeah, I mean, these mobs generally don't give nearly as much experience as the Act 3 mobs, to be honest. You might be looking okay on EXP, but if you're backtracking like that, it's gonna...
I don't think I'm supposed to use the Warning Axe. I think it's less damage than... Well, maybe it isn't actually, I don't know.
Tragedy after tragedy, hits a master.
It's definitely not much better
Hopefully
now.
this won't be a dead end. Yeah, it's something you have to commit to when you see that master is checking all the way in a layout like this, but oftentimes it's just a big ass dead end. The
Yeah,
Master
it's really
definitely extended his layout massively. Makes a pretty big difference. And also, from what I've seen before, his Oak layout was also really bad.
Yeah,
So...
it's been having really bad luck there. Hellman killed Oak and seems to be going to help Alira as well. It does look like that, right? He did fight the Harbinger pack, well, half of it at least.
Yeah, he could still be helping her. Let's see how he figures it out. Gucci getting quite a bit of EXP, soon hitting level 18. Pretty important.
really
to
just
hit
need
that
a helmet
level
at this
18. You
point.
get faster attacks and all of that equipped. It's really nice.
Hmm.
With Didn't Doom already hitting Vol,
5
switching
whistles
around
now.
his gear quite a bit, not making the same mistake Fight Guard did. You can see that he stays focused, has a Topaz that he does not equip, I don't think. It's a third
He did have
one.
a 2-stone ring, so I think he's settling with that one as his fire lightning grass and using the iron ring. I'm not
You
sure
see
why he
RNG?
settled with a 2-stone
No,
ring.
white
That's
and
why, because it's
chains.
rare, giving him attack damage. Holy shit. The
Yeah,
luck on this guy's gear.
That has like more damage than his actual weapon. That is just
Yeah.
pretty
If you
crazy.
look at his belt as well, he's actually sitting on 20% reduced flash charges used as well on his belt right now.
Yeah, I didn't even see that. 20%.
Oh, I actually got pretty lucky that run though. I'm watching the follows.
That is the ultimate drop for a caster. but
Too bad I wasn't playing a castle.
Only race, so not too many regrets here. But this is looking crazy. His time, 35, 50 ball. Honestly,
He's gonna call it bad, isn't he?
it kind of ended up being somehow a little bit slower than I anticipated. With a very powerful Act 1, maybe the pressure is getting to him a little bit. I think we can safely assume that the layout
Yo,
of the
I'm
Ancient
fucked on
Pyramid
levels.
definitely cost him around those 50 seconds that he probably should
Lunaris
have.
is always empty for
Still
me,
an
boys.
amazing
I don't know
performance.
why. Oh, there we go, blue pack.
Absolutely.
I
Also,
100% needed that.
the gearing and the other characters in terms of movement speeds, and that's been a topic before. They're still sitting on 0 on all
Another
of
4
those,
link.
moves
Feels bad.
now. We have
Not the
Gucci
right
moving
thing,
himself
kinda.
up towards the next set of stairs there. Or he's ignoring it, getting another level. No, he's not. He's going into the Ancient Pyramid right now.
Yeah, but that he took a pretty big risk going through the middle, and you can see
Yeah.
that in this case the Haku actually helped him out because
Yeah,
it shortened the layout a little bit, and
For 4 link.
a lot of the times
Oh.
he would have either hit the layout where Haku was, or sometimes he would hit it directly to the left. So Haku definitely pulling some strings.
Okay, let's say 26.
But Didn't Doom also has double damage gloves. I don't.
Yeah, he does. Cold
I'm
and lightning
scared-
damage.
I'm scared of looking at it. Every time I look at his gear, it's just scary. It's like he's sucking the life out of Fight Guard. Honestly, he's really struggling with
No,
gear
oh,
right
thank you. Thank you so much.
Absolutely. I think that in terms of gear, Dead and Doom is absolutely in the lead right now. And I think
Oh,
that people should not be underestimating the benefits of
That's
using that
shit.
1000 ribbon simple robe that Gucci is sitting on right now.
Oh,
But the rest
shit.
of his gear is not that great, and I think that Hellman would be the one on the taking the second slot in terms of gearing with his faux edge boarding axe reeling there, together with his other gear pieces. It's looking really good, to be honest.
There's no helmet. Oh, there.
now.
No!
He did hit
Fuck
level
you, game.
19 in Northern Forest, so
Fuck
you can see
you.
that he's a lot more focused on getting those early levels.
And
getting
because I
those
tilted, I forgot.
as fast as possible, being sure to utilize the faster attacks. And,
God damn it, I always forget War Chief.
right now,
Fuck, I'm actually retarded.
definitely going to be catching
How
up.
do I always forget War Chief? Every single time, without fail.
That was beautiful.
I forget War Chief. It's honestly because I got tilted on the vendor. I'm not even joking.
Jump in one place 4 times.
The vendor fucked me. I just want to replace my
I know
helmet.
that feeling all too well.
Yeah, well, Gucci triggering Vol in a pretty good time still, 38-40.
Chatterers don't be a retard indeed, even though I'm one myself
That is so annoying.
most of the time.
And same thing for Fight Guard.
Yeah, that is.
Oh,
that is
oh, oh.
Quite
No wonder I
unfortunate.
was feeling so slow.
Didn't Doom already got Clarissa nice and figured out. Your boyfriend's dead, no big deal. Gets the Suruki.
And he also picked up a pretty good
49,
focus
that's
ring right
pretty
here
good.
that he crafted that also gives +2 damage, but he did replace his iron ring to get that extra lightning resistance, which I think is really good as it's coming down.
Now if he's getting a falling would be insane.
Now in the sewers.
Because my totem is basically it right
Oh
now.
yeah, definitely so.
Maim
Even if
is
your captain
probably
does this
as good
sometimes,
as
so the Destructor just looks at you wrong,
faster attacks
just
and
fall over instantly.
culling combined, I imagine, something like that.
Is he going for the blue?
Totem's basically on a 3 link.
Okay. Picks up the bus. Maybe he thinks he's gonna get them on the way. Maybe he thinks it's worth the time.
Yep.
Maybe he knows he's in such a massive lead that he can just play it a little bit safer. I mean, the player who I think he would consider the biggest competition would be Gucci, and he knows that Gucci has a death already.
Exactly. I saw Fightcar having some issues with trading his weapon. He did have 2 access with him to the vendors to get the highest rolled one with him. But it took quite a long time with the vendors there. Not sure if he did actually get a satisfying result out of it either.
RIP!
I think so.
Fuck!
I don't think he
But
got
I
it.
forgot by the way.
That's the thing too. A lot of these players are looking to use like very basic weapons, while Dead Doom did go for the crafted weapon. It's been really paying off. We'll see if he's going to get enough blacksmith stones to secure him a safe Malachai kill with that decorative axe later on.
I still need a decorative, that's fine though. I think I have a transmit. Oh, I have 7 transmits.
Yes, in the chat right there for us. I don't think that he's
Fuck you
very
again.
satisfied.
Oh my god!
Once he gets
No!
close to
Scepter of God, please.
should be a lot better with it and gets an augment on it, and if he gets a good roll there, I think we'll be back on track with in terms of gearing compared to the other guys.
Honestly, Fightguard deserves, I think, a lot more credit than we're giving him here. He was using
It's actually
a level 6
terrible.
weapon until a level 15 weapon. And you might be thinking like, oh, okay, you found a good weapon. No, he's using a goddamn stone hammer. Like, that thing is not good at all. So
far I think it's been in the last corner I check every time.
everything-
Feels
The
bad.
fact that he is
He's some caught up on XP at
is
this
just
point.
a miracle. His
Yeah, he's playing really
experience
well.
really pulling through. Fightguard has been racing since season 1, so he's been playing forever. I think he's actually been racing longer than anybody, maybe except Hellman, who's also been playing since season 1.
Yeah.
With breaks, however.
I missed if Dead Doom got all the busts or not. Did you see that? No, he does have all 3 busts. He does have all
No, but
3
gloves?
of them.
Probably way too high level.
So I was leaving a portal outside of it and going into the Lunar's
Oh
town
my god,
right
please
now.
die.
Well, he is level 20.
My lightning isn't cast, feels bad.
Level 23. Yeah, okay. He's level 23, leaving a portal, going to Solaris. Has the waypoint too, I believe.
Need to raise my
Getting
gold.
a massive blue pack. I mean, when isn't he
Nice,
getting
nice,
a massive
nice.
blue pack?
Exactly.
How am I getting ball with a 42-minute
Come on,
time,
just-
but he
No! Fuck!
I think he's turning
Feels bad.
19, but I think he might be level 20. I'm not exactly sure.
Check helmet
He's
again.
level 19 right now.
Okay. That's really weird. I think he was leap slamming a lot. I wasn't quite paying attention to his leap slams, but
It's pretty good.
to his layouts,
take
but
that.
it did seem like he took quite a bit of time with Fightguard hitting a pretty
Oh, it's not quality, dude.
piety trail, honestly.
Oh, absolutely. That was a really fast one, just straight into our. Yeah, looking good as well. And
The book gloves is too high, I think, but it's...
right now, he's actually
Same for
gone above
Gucci.
Gucci. You know.
Yeah, and Gucci also had a corrupted zone, and despite that, they're on a pretty similar pace.
Yo, my damage is so bad.
Fighting Vol with those level 6 and level 3 potions, that can't be doing him any favors. No Topaz ring in sight.
Hey, this is some
Big lasers
good
to the face.
dumbness.
Looking really dangerous there with those life pools. Life
Gets
blasts.
another ad face.
I got Wanderlust of Hillock, dude. Like I said, I was like, oh, let me do a casual run. Oh, Wanderlust. Oops.
More ads. I believe that's his 3rd one.
Oops. Wanderlust.
I wonder if anyone's actually going to use the culling gem, like an off slot or something to.
My act one was like 17,
skim
10
off.
or something. That's not even good.
Honestly,
Oh my god, it's gonna be
so
amazing. I know it.
difficult with melee
No, it's not.
characters to get enough alterations. If you can, you want the 2nd Herald. If you can, you want another faster
Oh my
attacks.
God.
Obviously,
What is this
you
going
have to
on?
Use Blood Rage like utilizing your.
I don't know what I should put this on.
Things. Honestly, it seems like such a simple thing. Just use it every couple seconds if it drops off.
I guess boots, yeah, boots, obviously.
But min-maxing your clear to the point where you don't have to
I only
over
one or
and
less.
over and over and regaining your frenzy charges makes a massive difference. So I think if you've got an abundance of alterations, yeah, going for the Clouding Strike can help you out, but generally, this is the sort of RNG that we can only really expect out of Dead and Doom. And even in his case, he doesn't have it.
Not yet, at least. Not yet. But if he keeps up the way we all look at that leap slam into the sulfites, that was such a beautiful run there. He's got a really good docks layout as well. It's level 24 right now. See how long he's going to stay here before he starts progressing.
He did enter docks at level 23, which is a pretty massive penalty. Personally, I'm not a huge fan of entering docks at level 23. I think that's something that Hellman is really preparing for. He will be level 24. And generally, if you can be level 24 in docks when you're entering it, you will save yourself quite a bit of time. Because at 23, you're penalizing yourself by a pretty massive amount. Especially considering that...
My time wasn't insane.
Out of there.
It was good, not insane.
Still sticking around and looking for more mobs. Looking for the waypoint, actually, even. And we'll see if he's going to...
What is that triple? Oh my god! What the fuck is going on? Okay, now I just need a good decorative.
Which is, you know, he's not that far off.
And then I'm actually just golden.
At that point, it's only, you know, it's only 3 more levels and you're where you need to be.
I need a green socket somewhere. No, okay.
I think it's looking really good. I think Dead and Doom has a really good plan for what he's going to do right now and going towards Piety. Level 24 right now is progressing really fast. Very
also, you're typing too much by the way, which I can't read it all.
Really solid for Dead and Doom right now.
I can only read whenever I zone, because I need to alt tab.
Pieces for the cockroach lady.
Yeah, again, he really pulled ahead of Gucci.
Where's Stingy?
Yeah, he did end up with a level.
Where's Mr. Dingy?
40% physical vendor craft. So that's why he was.
Yeah, of course I'm gonna out the decorative. What do you mean?
Yeah, that's not that great. Again, RNG is really not working out.
And if it goes badly, I'll just crush it.
Not go and take up the piece there, the ribbon spin or whatever it's called, and he didn't put out TP up.
I'm just gonna get 90 IPD, 10 or like 10 to 20, and attack speed.
Without those prerequisites set up before.
I'm just kind of sad I don't have the name.
Playing it a little bit safe. I mean, every now and then stuff like that can really bite you in the ass. You know, you're expecting to have a TP, and then you might have Solaris.
Yeah.
Rerunning it again. It can be pretty tough. Something I guess important to point out, because it does seem like the other players are closing in on Dead and Doom faster. And honestly, part of the reason for that is that everybody except him has
62 good attack speed.
Which is the fast level 21 base versus Dead and Doom.
No, I don't have the links from him. That's what I mean.
I think that's gonna make a pretty massive difference.
I think it's going to make enough difference for the other ones to have somewhat of a shot to actually catching up now before the tension rises towards the Malachai fight during Act 4 and the progression, the last progression parts towards Malachai. But for now, the lead that Dead and Doom is sitting on is very, very solid. The only one that is really good on the levels right now that can do really well in catching up would be Fightcar, actually coming up from being among the slower.
Do I even go for level 30? I don't need to, honestly. I don't think.
Said earlier as well.
I guess I want to though.
Yeah, he's a full zone ahead of him now. Although, okay, no, I thought Gucci for a second there had the dream layout. The 1 in 100 Solaris layout where you can just immediately get over to the waypoint because it's on the other side, but no. He has to go all the way around. Ooh, Dead and Doom getting another blacksmith snow. Not exactly sure how many he's sitting on. Oh!
I really want the mana falls. I guess I don't need to go for 30.
This has happened a long time ago now because I already saw it, I think, already in Act 3. Dead and Doom is sitting on...
I have one more essence. Shit. I forgot I didn't have one of those anymore. It was bad, I shouldn't have clicked that. Could have died there.
The cold phase of Piety, if he's been a little bit careful with that Bismuth Flask, I think that should be more than fine. It's basically just the cold damage portion of that being the dangerous part.
What's a weak piece that I have? I guess the ring, yeah, I'll just essence a ring.
If you were to compare it to, for instance, well, anybody else's flask. Gucci sitting on level 12 flask, Fightcar sitting on a level 6 and a level 3. Same for Hellman. I mean,
bad.
well, Fighter's
I
got
don't
even
need
a
progress.
level 1 flask. It's really not looking that great. Opting to use 3 mana potion from mana pot flask.
Yeah.
Oh, leather belt. Shit. Well, yeah, I'm 100% getting a leather belt. Fuck this.
Highly more than to specific boss fights. But since we're going all the way into that Malachai kill in Act 4, like when you come up to the end of Act 3 and towards Act 4, resistance towards the random enemies actually starts to prove useful. We have Doom is sitting on like 41% fire resistance right now, so he doesn't have to worry that much about that part. Really good on the lightning and some cold burst. But looking at the other guys' gear, I think that the Gucci has some really decent balanced resistance sorting right now, whilst the other ones are going really low in terms of that type of defense. That's going to be very scary, especially versus the discharge you see Hellman is leap slamming at right now.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, there's really not that much you can do about it, but at the same time, every little bit of every little bit of resistance does count, because they will have very tough fights coming up. While the Malachai fight itself is, you know, as long as you've got the mechanics down, you're doing pretty well. Compared to the Comb fight and the rest of the fight, they're going to have to focus on picking up a lot more gear. Piety, no! Didn't do
Business Blast is doing so much.
Oh my god, the damage.
Yeah, look at that. He's just face tanking with that business up.
He doesn't care about anything.
That's so much.
Gets a bunch of useless items. Okay. Doesn't pick up anything at this point. He knows that he's got okay-ish levels. Actually, he's only level 25.
He did
get a weapon
recipe
Oh
there.
no, he is 26. Okay.
Hit his own with a passion.
And yeah, that can be pretty problematic, because if you're level 25, you have to farm in Scepter of God, and you know, that's one of the worst zones too.
Only got one thing.
Shit.
Shit. Oh, that's bad. That's really bad.
As well, so it's not too bad. It's on the above the middle roll there. It says he was a rare.
Where the fuck is Bartul? Where is he?
But again, it's Dead and Doom with his RNG. What can we say?
Yeah, he's been.
Does sound like his fuck dude.
Dead and Doom doesn't.
Why did it have to be 10 blue packs?
It matters, and when it matters, he gets it. Again, this is as tough of a field as it can get. Honestly, if I
Oh my.
do
No, I'm not even gonna use it.
in this race, I wouldn't even want to participate amongst these players. Screw that.
Once we were watching Dead and Doom's weapon trading there with the recipe, we can actually see that Gucci is sitting on 15% movement speed boots. So he's the second player now to have movement speed boots. And we can see if he's going to catch up to Fighter or not, thanks to that extra movement speed. We're at the point
Fighter is fighting Gravicious, but he's struggling a lot with those really weak potions. There's a lot of degeneration going on. Yeah, he gets hit really freaking hard.
Didn't get it.
Something that Doom wouldn't really take all that much damage from.
Yeah.
Sitting on
It's not
zero
good.
res. Like, literally zero. He has no resistances.
Yeah, that's gonna be very dangerous. Any
Lots of time that dropping. Come on.
lightning damage or whatever.
Pray, no. Didn't get it. Fuck. No, bad layout. No.
The movement speed from Gucci now will actually allow him to catch up on Fight Guard, because that little extra quality of life does so much, even if we're in a point of the race where the leap slam is what's mostly being used.
And also, I don't believe that Doom has actually killed Gravicious. At least I haven't seen it. Gucci goes for Gravicious too.
Please tell me at least get this one.
Yeah, his damage should be looking pretty similar, but he's upgraded his potion. He's got 2 level 12 and a level 24 flask now. So he's looking a lot better with Dead and Doom sitting on.
Yay, the practice paid off instant.
Hellman and
Blink.
Fight are still living on the edge, I guess.
Yeah.
Something also important to point out, I guess, is that Fighgar finally has his 3-link. I'm not exactly sure when he picked it up, but even at the end of Act 2, he was still sitting on that 2-link, so his gear has not been looking great.
Yeah, he just got his 4-link as well and colored it and rolled it as well. So he's actually got his 4-link at the same time, so that's really nice from Fighgar there.
I'm not seeing any alterations. I don't believe he has a Does he have an attack speed gem in there? He has something in there. Oh no, it's the it's the onslaught. So
Yeah,
still,
that looks like the
have to
onslaught
use
tag.
the onslaught. Yeah. Okay, yeah. These players are duelists. Normally, if you were to be a marauder, you would be dropping that onslaught gem by now, most likely in a lot of the situations. But because they are duelists, they still have to continue to use it. They can't fully utilize a buster attacks.
Yeah.
What is okay? Gucci's heading into Lunaris too just now, with sadly Emma being.
Oh my god, these
quite a
mana
bit
flaws are
behind.
bad.
For now, still he is in Solaris now. Yeah, and it does seem like
Lag.
he's catching up to Fightgar a little bit.
I'm lagging?
Dropping really low there from Gucci. It's almost dead.
Oh my god, I'm lagging.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
That's like the only point in the game where armor is of use. It's from those tentacle miscreations. They do
Kill
so
him.
much damage with those small hits.
Okay, let me buy down the mana flask.
That definitely makes a massive difference.
Oh, absolutely.
Primarily players
Fuck,
are
there's no mana flask.
as possible, but
Oh god.
You
over
know-
here the armor can also play a big role.
Oh, absolutely. In that situation, especially versus the like.
Why do you think I'm using the cleaver, Gucci?
It's mitigated
Because there's
so
attack speed on it.
Gucci is sitting on a really nice amulet.
I don't know if it's actually worth using though, or if I should just use my better weapon for onslaught. I think I'm gonna use my better weapon in Belly of the Beast.
Looking really good for him.
It's also
I'm
looking
lagging.
good at Doom's Dominus kill. He does not care about anything. Face tanking with that bismuth might even go for a slam face tank.
You kid?
Honestly, at
Come
this
on!
point.
Thank you.
I don't think
Martin!
he killed it. And his damage is looking really,
Oh my god, I was scared
really
there.
good with the arming axe.
That is insane. And something to point out with that fight as well is that he actually
I need to buy
has
some TP.
0 lightning resistance. So that was all from that flask he got.
I do believe he has 26.
Ah, fucking sword.
Yeah, my bad.
He helped Alira too, right? So he has to have the.
I don't know, Gucci. Maybe I don't know if you were here when I got the cleaver.
Actually doing pretty good damage.
Well.
Still on that boarding axe. Doesn't really get any drops. And Gucci close behind,
God.
a lot closer than he was not too long ago.
Oh, I forgot to swap
Already finished
for
off
Calm and the rest of
Malachai,
fuck.
or excuse me, Dominus.
Oh my god, that's bad.
He is level 27, about to hit level 28. I think we're going to see some big boy leap slams starting very
think so
soon
as well.
here.
Kill the fucking.
Yeah, I think that he's just going to kill whatever pack is really big or a blue pack in front of him and just go for that Malachai right now. He's got really good gear prepared for it. He's almost level 28, and he's in probably going to reach into town of Act 4 before that 1 hour hits. I don't think he's going to spend more than I don't think he's going to spend 3 minutes in the aqueducts. So we're looking at a really good timer here as well.
Gucci having a lot more unfortunate.
See how better the beast goes. In terms of mobs and
87
layout.
life left.
Jeez, tanking that double ice arrow shotgunned him just enough. Oh, he had to go through 3 different phases, so that fight took significantly longer than Fightgar's, who's already in the gardens. Well,
I'm going up here.
no, that was a little bit unfortunate.
That's a dead end.
Salman fighting
That's scary.
Gravicious here. Did
Oh,
upgrade
easy
potions
read,
a
easy
little bit
read.
Better. Fightgar still a
Damage
little bit
was good.
stubborn. Still sticking to those low bob potions.
That's
Yeah, he
fizz.
does. Hellman's damage there looked really good versus
fuck that.
Gravy Sauce.
Yeah, actually, that was pretty good. I think he's still in the boarding axe.
Yeah, it doesn't look like he has I think he just got some lucky hits there, maybe a crit or two, because that damage...
Oh god, a shrine? No, fuck.
Oh, they
Unless it's a
should
good
be-
shrine.
Fightgar finally pulling out the
That's
big boy
fine.
weapon. He's got a attack speed with flat physical damage weapon. Sure, that's a little bit less single target than a recipe weapon, but attack speed will play a major role in the upcoming almost never-ending leap slam session that the
Exactly.
players will have to go through in the mines
Fuck, I
and
fucked it up.
all the other fights too.
Yeah, that attack speed is so strong. It's like we were talking about as well about when we looked at the identifying of the gloves as well. If you get attack speed on the gloves, that's
Yeah.
pretty much set for the rest of the race to use those gloves because it's so strong.
Still waiting for the one run where I get an insane boarding
You
axe.
can get really decent attack speed on gloves really early on too, so we'll see if selling those gloves, you know, might be something Fighter is still regretting. But oddly enough, yeah, none of the players have had any attack speed up until now, which is pretty major. And I think it can definitely change out the outcome of this race still.
6
nonetheless.
minutes.
I did expect that in Doom to be the first one to pick up, and you rolled attack speed actually.
Yeah, right. Yeah, same here to be honest, but no, it really hasn't happened. I mean, maybe fight cars, no life, no potions, never. Oh my god, challenge is actually granting him some attack speed, dropping the easy. I think he should drop some. I think he should. It's time to drop some wisdom scrolls at the Clarissa too. And
Where am I going?
making potions, come on, man.
Yeah, I think he really needs to do that. The Dominus fight is not going to be a pleasant experience to watch with that type of life potions. But then again, the only one who has died was Gucci, right?
Right, but
Fucking
also
fuck.
hasn't helped Alira, so his gear, his resistances, like it's really not looking good for him right now.
Where the fuck are you?
He's running into more dead ends, have you seen? Finally got the stairs still, see if he catches up soon. But the levels are looking. Yeah. The levels are looking pretty good here between
Come on, it's not gonna happen, is it? Maybe.
And
fuck, my damage is insane. Because I'm using
a little bit of a
things. I
one
trading.
versus one race right now. Who's going to be ahead and start fighting with that? And Doom just killed.
Yeah,
I
that was
don't remember
interesting.
his name.
Vol, yeah, that was really interesting because he went for a spectral axe.
Don't have cat lighting
level
race.
33
To be
weapon.
careful.
And it was actually a pretty good one, but got me wondering there for a second, like, is he actually going for level 33? He's got a decorative axe now. He is level 29, entering the mines, which means that he will start to get really heavily penalized very, very soon. Or maybe he
An
actually
amount of
has level 30
fucking
already
bots.
now. I would imagine.
Kill it!
Maybe he has not updated yet, we'll see. I would be very surprised if he was still level 29. Having killed Dominus at 27? Well, he has to be 29 actually to equip the decorative axe, now that I think about it.
Yeah, I was thinking that as well. He's wearing it, so and it gives him strength as well on the augment he got on it as well. So I mean, it does look pretty good. It's not attack speed, but it's better than nothing.
Okay. Well, yeah, if he is level 29, then at this point he's leaping. I mean, we'll see this from the gameplay very, very soon anyway. But
Yeah.
he should be fine. He won't be killing all that much, making sure that his potions are up. Well, one of the
Fuck me, why are you hurting?
right now is the fact that he is using that Bismuth, so he is not regaining as many flasks as the other players. Mine's a spirit too. Very
Die.
nice. Oh, we've got
3 minutes. It's not gonna happen, is it?
fighting
Fuck.
against Dominus. Gucci hitting the face too. Wait, Gucci pulling ahead of Fight Guard. It's
wow, look
it's
at that.
really back and forth again. Wait a minute. I'm looking at it. I'm like, wait, wasn't Fight Guard ahead? Yeah, maybe the movement speed boots making a massive difference.
Yeah, they do. I mean, it's we talked about it before. Some people ignore it since it doesn't help the leap slap you that much. But those minor situations where you have to move, and even when you're looting, those adds up, and you know it gives you a lot of extra speed eventually, and that does skim off a few seconds here and there. And you know the saying about small parts becoming big, so
Right. I get that well.
Oh, that's one run. It's up on me.
If I guess some small parts for Hellman would get bigger with that Jade, with the
Oh,
Karee
I was about to leap into that.
but he's playing melee, so he doesn't care as much. I believe Karee Ward used to have attack speed, but not anymore. Or maybe, yeah, I think it used to have.
Oh, please don't be a dick. Please don't be a dick. Please. Please. Come on. Please. Oh, she's not dead.
So he doesn't really care about any.
Oh my god, lag. I thought she was dead, and then I lagged. Fuck.
Fight Guard is still on his mission.
Why? Why did I lag? I thought it was dead.
What?
Oh god, I actually thought it was dead
Going
then.
back to town to recharge my flasks or getting new potions ever.
Oh my god. I'm actually so scared right
The
now.
strategy is going to pay off for him.
Come on, Malachai, please.
we'll see.
Just do as you're supposed to.
It has begun.
Come on, please.
Relying on his
Rip.
leap slamming.
Thank you.
question is if he's going to start skipping more, because he's still killing every now and then. But I think he knows he's in the lead and might be taking a little bit smoother and a little bit slower to be a bit safer.
Good smash. I like when you smash.
Prior to the Malachai fight, as he is in the lead.
I don't know. At this point, I think he's kind of. I think he's kind of.
Fuck you. Malachai's actually being a dick.
Using a blink arrow setup right now to skip all of these phases. You can see that he's really not getting any XP out of these mobs. Being level 2.
It's not gonna happen.
9. The zone, I believe, is 37, so he's 8 levels under the zone, and that's pretty freaking massive.
Yeah, it is. It is.
Why is he not dying?
Let's see, the blue packs is fine, but it is still.
Come on, please,
bigger
please,
white
please.
packs as well.
No.
I'm not sure if he's really trying to get some experience, or if he's just killing them for flash charges. Seems kind of odd, but.
Do something. No, don't teleport. Thank you.
Honestly, I think he realizes he's not really getting any XP, and
don't just
keep going,
place tentacles.
Keep up all his flash.
Thank you.
Secure boss kills.
Yes, I did it.
Quite good.
7.15.
Looking that great
Oh,
on Malachai, honestly.
with insane RNG on items. Fuck you, one.
Have 648 HP, which is significantly.
Why doesn't
more
make
than
him
the
sad?
other players? I mean, sure, he's 2 levels above, but 2 levels don't get you 200.
So RNG was pretty fucking good this run on the items. On the layouts, Act 1 could have been way better.
Level 28 with,
but I'm not gonna complain about this run. I'm just not gonna.
No, that's the shrine giving him the HP. That's why. Look at that. No accurate information now.
And I'm like, wait a minute, 700? I mean, I don't see anything that would indicate something like that. Except this big ass massive shrine.
Yeah, I started looking at his
Oh
HP,
god.
I was like, oh, we just went
Oh, that was so stressful.
something.
Right.
Dude, fucking good. That's 2 races in a row I get Wanderlust in Act 1.
For something here, something that we do have to keep in mind is that Fighter
Oh, I
does
need to
have a
go.
4 link now. Sure, he might have not had a 3 link the majority of the race. Sure, he was just running a 2 link and his ancestral war chief thing was looking terrible. But now he's got gear.
Yo, I didn't get the OP comb skip. Fucking shitty RNG. What is this garbage run?
Everything except his potions is looking great.
Yeah.
Yeah. This was pretty good. This is bad. That's good. That's bad. That's bad. That's bad. That's really good. Nothing special. Nothing special. Good. It's just the cleaver that carried me. The 10 attack speed or whatever. Yeah, I think it was 10 attack speed.
A lot of evasion that he's getting here. It'll definitely help him out. If only this game had some way of regaining